Welcome back to the show, ladies and gentlemen. This is episode 169 of the Kickin with KoolKard show. I am your host, KoolKard. Thank y'all for tuning in. If this is your first time, I do invite you to subscribe so I can continue bringing you the gems that I bring to you with all of my great guests that come on the show each and every week. Last week, we had Rem, the artist. He's a visual arts artist. He basically educates us, our people, about our culture through his art. So it was a great send off for Black History Month having him on the show. Very talented brother. Y'all should definitely go check him out. It is on episode 158. So definitely go check him out. Yeah, man, it's a blessing to just have all these great people come on here. And yeah, so last episode, y'all definitely go check him out, man. But listen, tonight I had AJ Brown. She's a brand influencer from Ghana, Africa. I had her on here before, and ever since I've had her on here, she's made leaps and bounds. Like, she's blowing up on Instagram, on TikTok. She's getting branding deals and all types of stuff. Like, she's doing her thing. So I had her coming on tonight, but unfortunately, the power went out in Accra, Ghana tonight, and it's still off. So it hasn't come back on, so she can't get on for the night. But yesterday, March 6th, marked the date for Ghana's independence. They celebrated their independence yesterday. So what I'm going to do, I'm not going to talk your head off tonight. I'm just going to basically throw it back to my Michael Blackson interview as a tribute to Ghana tonight. Since we're already going to have somebody on here from Ghana, why not, right? It only makes sense. So I'm going to go ahead and play this recap of Michael Blackson, of the interview that I did with Michael Blackson during COVID. Yeah, and if you guys have been following me, you guys know about the interview. You probably watched it. If you haven't, well, no better time than now, right? So yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and recap that for you guys, man. It's, the African King of Comedy. Who else better than to have on and basically in tribute to Ghana's independence? So, like I said, man, I appreciate you guys tuning in every week. I'm not going to miss a show, regardless. Somebody cancels or something happens like what happened tonight at the last minute. This show is going to go on, so I got to give y'all something. So I'm going to bring you the gems that Michael Blackson dropped back in 2020, man. This is, 3 years ago? 2020. Listen, I'm so indebted, man. Like, I'm really indebted to him and his manager for blessing me with the interview. It was a great interview. I hope you guys enjoy it. Until next week, man. Listen, we're going to keep these episodes rolling. I'll see y'all next week. I'm going to go ahead and run this recap. Y'all enjoy it. Enjoy the show. Thank you for tuning in. If you're catching this on the replay, hey, I appreciate you putting your eyes to my vision and to my platform. All right? Without further ado, let's get it, y'all. Michael Blackson. I'm going to see y'all when I see y'all, which is next week. You never know who I might have, so make sure you come back, tune in. Tell a friend, also share it, and follow your boy on Instagram, The KoolKard Show. Here we go. And subscribe. If you have not subscribed, did I say that? Subscribe. It's all love, y'all. But I appreciate y'all. Let's get it. Michael Blackson, y'all. Michael, what's happening?
What's good, man? God, that's like the best of wilding out.
Hey, man, I could only take sound bites because I couldn't use video because of copyright on YouTube. They'll take it down. So, I didn't want to destroy the show, so I had to use what I had to use a little bit. But we got you live in the flesh, so.
Yes, sir. I'm feeling good, man. How's everything going?
Everything is beautiful, man. Everything is beautiful. I appreciate you coming on doing the show for me. It's an honor, man. Been following you for years, man. I go back, so yeah, definitely. So listen, man. First and foremost, I know you don't get too personal or anything like that, and I'll never ask you anything personal without your permission. But I did hear you talk about the situation with your son on the Breakfast Club. So I just want to say, I hope and pray that God has intervened in that situation and brought him through on the other side of that, and he's good. So I want to start off by saying that.
Oh yeah, definitely, man. He's doing much better. He's actually, I spoke to his mom the other day. I know he called me, but I missed his call. I think he started work today. He started a job today, so.
Oh, that's dope.
I'm gonna find out all about it. I don't know much about it, but I'm gonna find out. I know he's been looking for work. He's been telling me, "Hey, Dad, help me get a job." I'm like, my whole thing, I was trying to get him more like, go get training, go and work your brains, go
Right.
learn something. And
Like,
he just want to work. He want to make his own money.
yeah.
So I had so his mom was in Philly helping him find a job. So as far as I know, he's supposed to have a job. He was started work yesterday, Monday.
Okay. Yeah, that's dope, man. That's a blessing. That's a blessing
Yeah.
because I know he was into some heavy stuff, so that's a blessing, man. So listen, man, you as a comedian coming up in Philly, man, you've done the Next Friday, you've done the Savages, Beat the Blacks. Everybody wants to know what's up with the new Coming to America. Can you speak on that? Are you doing that?
I can't get into details at all. I mean, we all know the movie's coming out.
Okay.
I mean, if you Google and stuff, I mean, if you Google on, there's a lot of stuff out there on it. I'm looking forward to it. As far as I know, we shot the movie already. It was shot during the fall.
Okay.
It was shot when August, September, October. I think it was done by October. And we're looking forward to coming out Christmas. Christmas is a date that we know. So hopefully by then the whole country is opened up and people can go back to the movie theater. Because I mean, that movie is gonna be to me bigger than life. You could be an extra in that movie and become famous because I think everybody want to see this movie. Everybody looking forward to this movie.
Absolutely.
It's a beautiful, great script. I mean, from reading the script, I'm like, it's like the first one plus more. It's like all this great cast from the past. Of course, it still has Eddie Murphy or Cindy Hall. Who else? My goodness. John Amos and John Amos plays dad, and then who's Mr. McDowell? He's also in it. I mean, almost everybody from Wesley Snipes. So we have like the old cast, the original cast. It's and then a lot of new surprises. A lot of new surprises in the movie, and from like guys like Wesley and me and Leslie Jones. I mean, if you Google it, you'll see everybody that's in it. So it's like you got the stuff from the past, and you got the new people added to it, like the new generation versus old generation. It's an amazing movie. It's great. You guys are gonna love it. And I'm just hoping hopefully COVID doesn't ruin it. We're hoping everything comes out as planned, and we'll see what happens.
Yeah, I really hope it's opened up, man, so everybody can flood out there. That thing's gonna hit probably like Black Panther, man. Everybody's waiting for that.
What the great thing about that movie, it goes so far back. Like it's not like a remake. It's just a continuation. So that means it's going back to like 32 years ago.
Yeah.
So you go 32 years ago, man. How old were you? Think about it. We're all little kids.
Right.
I don't even know you was born at 32 years ago.
Yeah, I was here.
Right. So now you're gonna have the generation of those generation, and then you're gonna have like. So you're gonna have, this is gonna be the first movie where you're gonna have 60-year-olds going to the movie because they remember this movie 30 years ago. You know? So it's gonna be like the young to the old. Everybody's gonna be in the movie theater to see this.
Man, coming to America.
And what I like best about it, they made it PG-13, which is kids. Like you can take your kids to watch it.
Right.
So now you get the So I'm expecting so much from this movie, and shout out to Eddie and Arsenio and the director. For putting such an amazing job together.
Who directed it?
The guy that actually, the same guy that did of course he wrote and directed Hustle and Flow.
Okay.
And then he also did the thing he just did recently with Eddie. Dolomite.
Oh, Dolomite. Yeah.
Yeah. Bruce, what's his name? Oh my God, he's gonna be so pissed at me for messing up his damn name. Craig Brewer. Craig. Shout out to Craig Brewer. Great director, did a great job. The producers were amazing. I don't remember their names, but everybody did a wonderful job. It's a greatly well directed. So I'm looking forward to this.
That's dope. Was Next Friday your first movie appearance?
Next Friday was my first, man. And the crazy thing about that movie is 20 years old, and people still quote that line till today.
Yeah, classic, man. That's a fabric.
Classic, man. That just tells you, man. Like as a comedian, you never really look forward to like, as a comic. I know when I started doing comedy in the mid 90s. All right, it's like back then was the sitcom era. sitcom. So your goal, you become a great comic, and then you make your way. Hopefully, you're able to get on the sitcom or get appearance in the movie. That was your whole goal.
Right.
You know, and of course with me, you know, it so happened the way it happened where I skipped the whole television, went straight from stand up to like being in a movie.
Yeah.
You know, and like I said, it was just a 2-minute scene that when you're as a comedian, your goal is to capture what is a minute or 2 minutes and make it yours.
Yeah.
And you know, and technically, man, that scene was so great and so memorable. I mean, look, I haven't done no real major movie since then. You know, I mean, of course, I've done little smaller things.
Yeah.
And then I've done more independent stuff. But this one was like New Line Cinema, big time movie for, you know, for every black person to go watch. You know, so from that little 2-minute scene, the whole world got to see me.
Yeah.
And I'm still making a living off of that. You know, till now, the next big thing, which is Coming to America 2.
Right.
When I do this, and when I did Next Fridays, like all the black people got to know me, all the Hispanic got to know me. But Come to America 2 is gonna bring out the whole world.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, so if you hiding on a rock and you don't know who Michael Blackson is, you're gonna know who Michael Blackson is in this movie.
That's a blessing, man. That's a blessing. What about last Friday? Because you're doing that, right? Can we talk about that?
Well, you know, I mean, last Friday, as far as I knew, you know, it probably would have been done by now, you know. But rest in peace to John Witherspoon. And I think once he passed away, it set everything back. You know? So now I'm sure they have to like rewrite the script a little bit. And so now we just waiting. But I'm looking forward to that. I think that should be another great movie, you know, another final sequel that I think the whole world would love as well.
Yeah, absolutely, man. It's cool though to see you come from that in 2000 and then now you're doing last Friday, which I'm pretty sure you'll have a larger role. Like it's crazy how God works, man.
God works miraculously. I mean, you know, just growing up, coming to America, you know, in the mid 80s, late 80s, whatever, 80 something I came, and like to actually look up to Eddie Murphy, is like, God, this guy is so funny, so great.
Right.
And then you look years later, I'm a stand-up comic, which that was not part of my plan, you know. And then I'm standing next to this guy, having a conversation with him, you know, and he knows who I am.
Yeah.
You know, because if it wasn't for him and Arsenio, I mean, they made that happen for me. They said we want Michael Blackson to play this.
Oh wow.
You know? So yeah, man. If you go look up YouTube and put in Michael Blackson and Eddie Murphy, it started all up with TMZ approaching Eddie Murphy about Coming to America 2. And then he mentioned something about Akon said he should have more Africans. And Eddie said, well, I know one funny African, Michael Blackson. And that right there when Eddie said that, I did not need to audition for this movie.
Wow.
It all happened. The agents just took those clips that Eddie said and sent it to the casting agent and say, hey, Eddie want Michael Blackson in this movie, so make it happen. And they already had a scene written out for me already.
That's crazy. That's love right there, man. That's love. So I want your opinion on something. So when comedians, they, you know, become like mega movie stars or mega TV stars, do you feel, and maybe it's based on just the person and work ethic, but do you feel that it kind of dilutes the funny of a comedian? Maybe because
you know, it's really up to that comic, man.
Okay.
It's really up to that comedian, because a lot of time, you know, you start doing doing big movies, and I haven't got there yet. I haven't got my own starring role in a movie where it's going to really give me some real money. You know, they start giving me this big money, and then, you know, and I mean, I think it's like with any job. With any job, you go with where the most money is.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, think about it. When Chris Tucker started doing movies, he was doing movies back to back, making real money, $20 million. You know, like, I mean, he probably made a little bit of money. He probably got his first million money talks. After that, he went to the Rush Hours. He got paid millions for the Rush Hours.
Yeah. So
if Rush Hours is paying you millions, then hey, if acting is paying me the money, let me do more acting.
Right.
You know, but at the end of the day, they will always come back.
Yeah.
To where we started. You know, to me, stand-up comedy is where I make my money.
Right.
is my biggest passion. You know, it crushed me to sit home 4 months without hitting the stage.
Oh, I'm sure.
And then recently I went and did something a week ago from today. I did something. I did 50 Cent's surprise birthday party.
Yeah, I saw
and
that.
did a stand up at his, and I just, all my confidence came back. But usually a comedian, man, we don't hit the stage for 2 weeks. You can see the difference on stage. You know, your timing is off. You forget your material sometimes. So imagine what it's like to be off for 4 months.
Wow.
You know, but I was able to, you know, go on that stage just to like bring some, just to like, I felt like, let me make sure I didn't lose any of this.
Yeah.
Because during this 4 months of sitting at home, I mean, I'm doing so much stuff online with, you know, twerking Thursdays and titty Tuesday, all these crazy things I'm doing.
Yeah.
And I'm like, you know, I'm not even taking time to study for my material because I'm like, when am I going to, I'm not sure when I'm going on stage. So I'm not about to entertain that. Let me try to find me another way of hopefully making some money and I'm like, man, I was missing the stage. Yeah. You know, so I wrote some material down and I said, you know what, this is perfect timing. Let me go do this thing for 50, grab the mic for 20 minutes and surprise myself.
Wow.
So now I'm like ready to go out there. But you are right, when comedians, when we step away from stand-up, for a period of time to do other things, we lose our touch. So, but you know, we don't lose it completely. You might just fall off a little bit, but you can always get it back. You know, you just gotta work hard towards it again. That's why I try to get on stage. I mean, prior to COVID, I make sure I got on stage at least every other week. You know, if I have some time off, I would never go more than 2 weeks without getting on stage. It'd be 8-10 days at the most. You know.
So do you kind of like, would you just go out to open mics and just?
Yeah, trust me, if we had it, I would have been going. The comedy clubs are not open here.
Right.
You know, the only thing I could probably do was get on a plane and fly out to states that are open.
Yeah.
You know, there are a few states that are open, like Georgia and Alabama, part of Texas, you know. They are open for me to go out and hit the stage. But the thing about it, I've been doing this so long, and I know what my fans like. I know what the people like. I almost think I'm at the point where I can't go wrong. You know, I think they know that I know what's funny.
Right.
So, you know, I was, even with the whole 50 Cent thing, I mean, I still had a crowd, you know, so I was able to go on stage. I was able to go on stage without going to open mic and trying out material I've never tried before, you know, and from there, and probably out of the 10 different jokes that I did, or 10 different things that I did, maybe 2 went okay. That I didn't, you know, but I know if I do a joke and the joke don't work, I know how to go into the next joke and act like that was not even the joke I was trying to tell.
Right.
You know, but I know I have it because I know what it takes to make my audience laugh.
Okay.
And I was able to go up there with new jokes with my own confidence and try it on in the audience. You know, but usually you're supposed to open mic is where you go. But I think I've got to the point where if I think something is funny, I think they're gonna think it's funny. At least 80% of what I think is funny, they would enjoy. I would not need to go try it out. So to like open mic night.
When you do have new material, do you still get a little nervous to try it out at all?
Always.
Okay.
I'm nervous to go on stage with old material because it's more like it's a good nervousness. It's just when you're nervous, it means you still don't take this for granted. You still want to go up there and give it all. You still feel like you could have a bad night one night or so. You never know. Right. You know, but with new material, yeah, you're definitely nervous because you don't know if this is going to work. But I think I've built up that enough confidence to know that whatever I'm going to deliver these people is going to go well. You know, from the history of the jokes that I've told in the past. Right. I think I'm able to like judge my material to see, okay, they will like this, they might not like this, and you know, so forth.
I got a comment here. It says, do you ever just freestyle on stage to find you're funny? So maybe it's not going so well, or the jokes aren't hitting like you thought. Do you ever just start freestyling?
Oh yeah, it's been times like that. I went on a stage one time. It was in Toledo, Ohio. Was it Toledo? Where the alarm went off? I was in Toledo, Ohio. Somebody went and used the restroom and either smoked some weed or smoked a cigarette. and it set off the smoke detector.
Oh, wow.
And the shit went off for 30 minutes while I'm on stage. And I was able to improvise and just find a way to talk about that smoke detector while it's making noise, because I did not want to just stop my show, let it fix it, and I come back. I stayed on the whole time that shit went off and entertained them till it stopped.
That's
with a lot of improv and things. So yeah, I definitely, I think my greatest point on stage is when I'm dealing with hecklers. I love it. I wish a mother sucker would try to heckle me. I wish somebody would, because I'm at my greatest point. Right. I've been roasted so much in my life that roasting is my specialty.
Yeah, man. I be dying on Wildin' Out. Yo, and I also like the fact that your jokes are like spitfire. It's like you can't get finished laughing at one before you hitting them with another, and it's like, yo, you curled over dying. You know what I'm saying?
It's so crazy you say that, because I know now when I go on stage, I try to slow down now, because I'm like, I gotta give them time to laugh.
Okay.
I mean, in the past, like 5 years ago, I would go on stage, and I don't care if they're laughing at one joke, they're gonna be laughing at that same. I mean, I'm like, boom, 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 bam, bam. They're like, yo, Mike, just slow down. Give them a chance to laugh at the last joke.
Yeah.
And that's just from that's just my style. Everybody's style is different. And when your style is like mine, we have, I'm more punchline.
Yeah.
I use a lot of punchlines, So I mean, if you are gonna put comedians on stage and like rate each one on how many times people laugh while they're on stage, I don't think anybody can top me.
Right.
Yeah. If you put me on stage for 30 minutes and count how many laughs you get, and put anybody else on stage for the same amount of time, they will not equal to my amount of laughs.
Yeah, brother, you're at the top of your game, man. You're at the top of your game. I'm telling you, I follow you, man. You're hilarious. You're hilarious. Everything, like the skits, everything, man. Just.
Well, I just, the thing with social media, man, people don't understand, is another tactic where you have to, and that's just one thing that I gotta give all glory to God for giving me this talent to be able to, because a lot of times people think you're just funny on social media, you're not gonna be funny in real life. I have those guys that will see me on Instagram do a slow skit, and the thing with social media, I do that to keep that younger audience.
Yeah.
Like Wildin' Out. Wildin' Out is not, those kids are not even nowhere close to my age.
Right.
But I keep those younger audience, and I could still hang with them. I could roast just like them.
Yeah.
Or even better.
Yeah.
I could deal with the young kids. Because especially doing a show like Wildin' Out, I cannot walk the street without a kid coming up to me. First thing they want to roast me. They everywhere I go. Every strangers in the airport, anywhere on a plane, they're ready to roast, because they know that I'm gonna bring that heat.
Yeah.
So I do that to keep the young demographic on my side as well. I got the older cats that been riding with me since I started in '95, and I got the young guys that just was born, in 2000.
Right. They have no idea.
So I just, social media, man, it's a whole different game, man. You have to figure it out.
Yeah.
And I found my niche, and I know what they like, and I know what they want. I just give that to them.
Absolutely. Do you feel like social media has brought you an abundance of opportunities?
Oh, definitely. It brought me a whole new life. That's why I'm not sure whose idea it was, but it was a great thing. It's not just for me, man. It's great for a lot of entertainers as well. Even a lot of upcoming comedians that did not have the chance to go, that we didn't have Comic View. They don't have shows like Comic View and Def Jam now, where comedians could get on TV and be stars.
Right.
Now you got a chance to be your own star. You have your own platform. Your social media is your own television show.
Absolutely.
Just entertain them. If you're making them laugh, the people will come.
Yeah.
You get the followers, because people will share. If your stuff is funny, people will share it, and that's how you grow your following. You guys have to take the shortcut out, try to go buying followers and buying likes and buying comments and buying all that. But those are the same ones that cannot go. They try to go on the road and do stand up. It doesn't work, because they can't bring that audience out, because they bought fake audience.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So social media definitely changed my life. It definitely, because when it came out, I jumped on it early enough. Started on Twitter. From Twitter, I was able to get a YouTube show, and from YouTube I'm able to do this, and from Twitter, between Twitter, YouTube, and like Instagram and Facebook, that's probably how I end up in coming to America too.
Right.
That's how Eddie got to see me. You know, I'm
Right.
sure he watched me back on Comic View back in the day, but I found out you still have to keep yourself relevant. Nobody, if you're not relevant, nobody's trying to fuck with you.
Nobody's checking.
Period. You have to stay relevant.
Absolutely. Now, you talk about timing, right? Do you feel that it's the same timing that you use on stage that you would use for jokes on screen, on set? Is that?
Oh yeah, definitely, yeah, man. Definitely. That's why a lot of sitcoms or movies that like stand-up comics, because we could use that timing. Delivering a joke is so important, you know.
Yeah.
And definitely, when I do scenes in movies, I want to be able to like make it my own, where I could deliver the joke the way I want to deliver it, because I know it works for stand-up, and I know it could work for movie as well. It's the same audience sitting down watching the screen.
Right.
So definitely the same timing. That's why a lot of time comedians, you know, become TV show stars, because of the timing and the delivery.
Absolutely.
You know, every major sitcom was a stand-up comic.
Right.
Every major sitcom, from Martin to, you know, and they all, you know, all comedic actors,
All of them.
all just people that are just brilliant enough to deliver a joke, like Will Smith, you know.
Yeah.
With Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, he did a really good job with that. You know, and then of course you got like, you know, Martin, you know, who did Steve Harvey? Every stand-up comic almost had a sitcom, because
everybody,
we could deliver the jokes.
Absolutely. Absolutely. What about Netflix? I know you were talking about trying to get a Netflix deal, and you were going to shoot it yourself, do the work yourself, and then just wait for them to come around. Like, is anything in the works on that?
Well, you know, I was right as soon as I thought about shooting it, some crap happens. You know, always COVID happens. You know, but I think I'm pretty sure we should be able to do something really, really soon. I think we should be going back to, hopefully, I mean, even if I have to shoot in a smaller venue,
right?
But I'm going to definitely try to make something happen before the year ends. Definitely.
Okay. Now I got a question for you that maybe can help some of the up and coming comics. So back in the day when you were first getting into business, how did you deal with feeling like you were overlooked for an opportunity you felt you were qualified for?
Oh man, it's just so much politics in this game, man. So many politics. I mean, back in my day, we did a lot of talent shows. I remember this one talent show I did, and I knew for a fact I wanted the comedy segment of it. But unfortunately, I did it. You know, it was the guy that won it was nowhere as funny as I was.
Right.
But his management company helped put that contest together. Is why he won it.
Right.
You know, so this I believe, man. I believe like when God says your time, it's your time. Can nobody stop when your time comes? You know, and I say it all the time. Even if I would have blown up back in like the late 90s when I started, if I would have become a star then, my career probably been over by now. You never know.
Yeah.
You wait on God's time.
Absolutely.
You know, wait on God's time. Just at the same time, you got to keep working hard at your craft. If it's meant to be, it will happen. Don't get lazy. Don't just sit back and wait for something to happen. You got to keep going. You know, if you're a comic, you keep going on stage. If you're a singer, you keep finding open mic, you keep singing. You know, if you're an actor, you keep auditioning. You keep reading scripts. You don't stop. Hard work, put God first, and when it's your time, it's going to happen. If it doesn't happen, it wasn't meant to be. Everybody's not meant to be a star.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And you got to know that. You got to know that.
Yes.
Yeah, I was just speaking with your manager about, like, I used to do music, and it was like God was tugging on my soul about, you know, just it wasn't for me no more, you know, and I just had to step away from that. But this is my calling. I like talking to people. I like helping people. Have my own talk show and help people through things and stuff like that. So here I am, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, man. Yes, indeed. And I got man, I'm going blank. I had a question. And I need to know, man, who makes your clothes? Yeah, are those custom clothes? Cause man,
you know what? It depends which ones he talking about.
I don't know. You just
Like I wear, there's some that I buy, like the African ones I wore were custom made in Togo, West Africa.
okay.
Because it was these ones I used to wear. I have the blazer, the pants, and the matching shoes.
Okay.
I wore them a lot about 2 years ago on stage. And then about 2 years, a year ago, but the last year and a half, I've been more into like shinier clothes. So there's a boutique store that I go to in LA that I shop at most of my stuff, and a lot of this stuff is definitely not a store where the average black person would go to.
Okay.
So I know if I go buy something out of here, I'm not gonna catch nobody with this outfit on.
Right.
Then I have a lot of people that always offer to make me stuff. So my stuff come from like a little bit of everywhere. Okay. Once in a while I go on Rodeo Drive and grab something out of my favorite store. So I try to switch it up. As far as the stage one is mostly shiny. I believe in as a headliner, you go on stage looking like a headliner.
Right.
I cannot stand when a comedian go on stage with a t-shirt on or something that anybody in the audience will wear. When I get on stage, I want the audience to look like, damn it, this is where the hell my money's going to.
Right. Right. Absolutely. Hey man, before we wrap it up, I want to know if there's a King of Comedy tour, who's on the line? Who's on the bill with you?
The 2020 King of Comedy tour. Right now, I go with Dave Chappelle.
Absolutely.
Got to go with Kevin Hart, Chris Rock. Let me see. You get those. Cat Williams.
Yeah.
I'm going with 5. Let me see. Let me try to put this in a banging order, okay? Who would I want to host this tour? Let me see. Okay, let's have Cat Williams host it.
Okay.
Cat Williams host the tour, okay? I think and then hey, I will go first. I'm probably one of the funniest one right now, but I think that those other guys' names might be bigger than mine. And usually when you're introducing people on stage, they kind of go on how more popular you are.
The name, yeah.
You want a great host that's also popular. So let's say I make Cat Williams host. I would go up first. And then after me, we'll put Kevin Hart, unless he wants to go on before me or whatever, vice versa.
Right.
And then we'll throw in there, all right, I think right now everybody's love Dave, but I think Chris Rock got more of a faster punch lines. Mm-hmm. So I probably have Dave Chappelle and then maybe have Chris Rock close it out.
So Chris Rock will be the headliner.
You know what? I would look at it. This is not a show it has to do with headlining. This is more like just going in like. Just the headlining just sounds like this guy's better than everybody else.
Right. Yeah. So it's a culmination. It's a culmination of the legend in the game right now.
Exactly. Like I say, because when you putting a show together, you start off with a bang, and then you want the show to rise up.
Right.
You don't want to go like boom, bang. You don't want to go up and down.
Yeah.
Like Kevin Hart's style is more like storytelling. They're not like punchline, hardcore. He's not. He's more PG-13. That's
right.
Why I'm saying I probably put Kev first. I probably go after Kev, and then maybe Dave, and then Chris Rock, or maybe Chris Rock and then Dave. Okay. It could go in any one of those orders. But that's what I'll do right now.
Yeah, that'll be a dope lineup, man. Y'all gotta make that happen soon as COVID's over.
Man, I don't know. I mean, to think about it, everybody, Dave Chappelle got his own. Dave don't need nobody. Kev don't need nobody. Chris Rock don't need nobody. Cat Williams don't need anybody. They'll all do their own thing. So when you're trying to squeeze 4 people that could go and sell out the same amount of venues on their own, it makes no sense for them financially.
I got it. But like you said, it's not about a headliner. It shouldn't be about that. Let's just all get together and
let's get together and take the pressure off each other. Just go up there, do 20 minutes each.
Yeah.
Kill it.
Put together a good show, man. Legendary.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
That'd be great. We'll see what happens. Who knows?
For sure, man. I'm rooting for it, man. I'm rooting for it.
Too.
I'm coming if it happens. You're gonna be out in Atlanta in August, right?
Yep, August 22nd weekend. I think 21st and 22nd. Yeah.
I'm gonna come check you out.
Appreciate that.
Yeah, that'll be right around my way.
Nice.
Yeah, absolutely. But listen, man, I appreciate you coming on the show. I really do, man. I know you're a busy guy. But yeah, man, mean the world to me. It's an honor. Keep doing your thing, brother. Praying for you. Yeah, just keep going up, bro. Just keep doing your thing, man. You're funny.
Yes, sir. Got you, Manasaka.
Yes, sir. All right, man. Peace out. Hey, everybody that's tuning in. Want to appreciate you guys for tuning in, man. And if you have not subscribed, go ahead. I invite you to subscribe to the show. And yeah, man. Michael Blackson, y'all. There it is. Michael Blackson in the flesh. I invite you guys to subscribe to the show so you can get the value that I'm gathering from all these guests. But yeah, thank y'all for tuning in, man. Episode 31. Epic. Appreciate y'all. Kicking it with KoolKard. I'll see y'all next week. Never know who I might have. And we out.